Department of Ag coming on to talk about grants that they have, how you could get some of that money. It's 8:09. We'll go to the KUM News Zoom room. Standing by, he is the administrator for the Office of Civil Defense, Charles Esteves. Good morning, Charles.
Hey, good morning, Chris and Bree.
Hi, how are you?
All good.
Right on. We'll just get right into it. So my boy messaged me last night, Dad, are the Chinese going to bomb us? Freaking China with the anger emoji. And, you know, I mean, it's a little anecdotal, right? But I think it's real, right?
Wait, which boy?
Channing.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
My boy, too. Channing is what, 10? 11?
Yeah, pretty much same age. So kids are thinking about it. Obviously, parents are talking about it. You know, not really expecting to wake up to a, you know, Chinese video of them doing a simulation bombing Guam. How did that set you guys off yesterday? Charles, can you tell us what was the reaction from Civil Defense, Homeland Security, and the Marianas Fusion Center?
Yeah, so, you know, we've had a lot of inquiries. Every time we get something from, you know, either Korea or China or any of the you know, state actors over there to our northwest, you know, first we always want to make sure that we get with you know, our Department of Defense partners and find out if the threat is credible. And you know, there's been no release from the Department of Defense, nothing to increase the threat posture to the island. So that's first. Second, it's just letting people understand our role. So our role a lot is consequence management. And so if something were to happen, you know, what are the actions that we would take should, you know, for example, a ballistic missile impact the island. And we do have the plans in place. We've had the plans in place for quite some time because, you know, the threat that happened it's happened several times, right? So, you know, we just want to give that assurance that we do have procedures in place should something happen. And we have exercised this before multiple times.
Do you need to get that? Is that DOD calling?
No, that was my phone. Sorry about that.
Okay, sorry. Yeah. Okay, Chuck. So, I mean, what is the plan in the event that China launches a missile? When would we hear about it, and how would we be alerted, and what do we do? And am I safe in EPEN?
Yeah. So there's. So there's actual multiple notifications that would happen. The governor and like lieutenant governor will be notified from more than likely someone from Indo-PACOM. The HSA, General Aggie would be notified. I'll be notified also by someone from Indo-PACOM. FEMA would give us notification as well. And then from there, we would activate the all hazards alert warning system. There's a number of components for that. We're actually in the process of expanding our all hazards alert warning system with beacons. And so all our partners in the government and to include some private sector partners, we're going to install these emergency beacons. We'll be reaching out to our partners in media as well. And so what these beacons do is there will be a panic button basically installed in the Emergency Operations Center. One hit of the panic button and it sends out basically a canned message to these beacons, basically telling you know, what the threat is and what the recommended actions are.
How long does it take a missile from China to reach Guam? Is that classified?
So I'm not sure the exact time it'll take, but for planning purposes, we always estimate 14 minutes. That from the time we receive notification of a actual threat, we have 14 minutes basically to inform the public and for the public to take action.
Let me ask you.
This is kind of like the emergency like alert system, like what you see on TV, what you hear on the radio, right?
So this is correct. So this is the emergency alert system. This is also the sirens that we have stationed throughout the island.
Yeah.
So it's really it'll be really difficult to reach everyone on the island, but those who do receive the message, whether that's through the all hazards alert warning system or that's through our partners in media, basically telling everyone to seek immediate shelter. Um, the action would be to find a hardened shelter. We get a lot of questions, what about bunkers? What about I guess underground facilities that they can hide in? I can tell, I've been telling people that all you have to do is find a hardened shelter. Those who are in the immediate vicinity of the area, that's where we expect to have the most casualties. But those outside of the actual point of impact can at least protect themselves from the effects of radiation and some of the other secondary effects.
Charles, so the missile, right, that HK missile that they featured in the simulation, is that I mean, God, I have no clue. Is it nuclear? And then what's like the radius, the bomb blast, if they were to hit that target in Anderson?
Yeah, so that information we don't know, but a lot of the consequences, should something happen, is one, it really depends on where in the island it strikes, and two is the actual where the fallout and the debris. So where is the wind taking that?
I think on
Sorry.
no, I was just gonna say, I think on Civil Defense's website, you guys have like tips on what to do. Like I think it's like taping your windows
Right,
and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have those tips available, and they're available in multiple languages as well, because it's at the time, we want to make sure we cater to our tourist population as well.
Right. So how serious, Chuck?
Well, we haven't received any notification of any escalation of threats in the island. The biggest threat continues to remain COVID-19.
Right. Yeah.
So everybody, just don't worry, just be aware, and if anything should arise,
You got 14 minutes.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The KOAM, by the way, is one of the primaries for the
Right.
emergency broadcast
Yeah,
system,
yeah.
so that's all the more reason why you should stay tuned.
Right. Exactly.
And we do ask that people please continue to stock up on supplies. It's not when we put out these messages to stock up on 3 to 5 days of supplies, such as water, canned goods, batteries, candles. It's not just for the typhoons, but it's for any sort of threat. That's why we take all hazards, all threats approach to emergency management,
Right.
and emergency preparedness. But the lot of times, when people decide to prepare for an emergency, it's really based on their perception of the threat. And so, if they weigh the risk and the potential outcome, or the likelihood of the event to be low, then they probably won't prepare for the actual event. I mean, if for those who have experienced a typhoon, and for those who've experienced a catastrophic typhoon like Pongsonghua, Paka, for those who lived through Pamela and Karen, you're going to be more prepared for when a typhoon comes, whether it's potentially a banana storm or a large storm. In the same tokens, others may not prepare, because they may look at a banana storm and say, I've survived Paka and Pongsonghua, so I don't think, I'm not worried about this smaller event. And so, it's really a having the preparedness mindset that we're really trying to push. Right. Although the likelihood may be very unlikely, if it does happen, the impact and the effects could be devastating. So, that's why we're continuing to push, and we continue to message and to reach as many people as we can
Right.
throughout the island to please stock up on those necessary supplies.
Very important. And let me tell you, nothing hits better than when you're looking at destroyed houses and whatever, and grandpa, grandma, and uncles and aunties did all the preparations that they needed to do. And so you're sitting there with no power, but you have your batteries, you have your candles, you got your canned goods. Take it from some people who have been through some storms, because, man, Chuck, it's been a while since we had a major storm, and I feel like there's a whole generation of people who have no concept of what it's like in a Uri, an Omar. I mean, dude, thank God. Thank God.
Pong Son
A
Hua.
Pong Son Hua, right? A Paka.
Yeah, they've never experienced the months without power, the weeks or months without water. And those aren't easy times, and those are the events, those catastrophic events that we really want to push preparedness more than most. Right. And the thing is, COVID-19 is it's a huge disaster, and it's not like we didn't know that a pandemic would eventually happen, at a global level. I mean, if that were the case, then we wouldn't have done pandemic planning in 2008. We wouldn't have prepared, and at the time, it's, you look at the other threats, H1N1. And we have the historical data. Yeah. Right. There's, we had the Spanish influenza, right, in the 1900s, and that was, the estimated loss of life was in the millions, and they had second and third waves, and so it's a lot of times, the measures taken, it may seem extreme, but it's for those who deem it necessary, and then for the protection of the people. These are the decisions that they make. And our entire way of life is changed, and all our threats now are compounded by the additional threat of COVID-19. Right. Yeah. And so it's crazy, because you think of some of the services and the goods you had in the old world, right? Like what's the name of that thing where people used to go and they used to sit in this dark room, and there's this huge screen and you get popcorn.
That's a movie theater. That's pre-COVID. Yeah, pre-COVID.
I mean, if you think of stuff like that in the old world, right, it's not going to be easy for us to get supplies, moving forward, should we have a, knock on wood, a catastrophic typhoon, right? I mean, you think about it, where when people go into a congregate shelter, they're going to have to be socially distanced. They're going to have to get their temperature checked.
Wow, I didn't even think of that.
We're gonna need additional healthcare personnel to screen them prior to coming in. Before, it was open the doors, come in, right, find a cot or a place, and you'll be okay. God. But those are some of the considerations that we have to now take in. We have to now account for, and we have to plan for, given our most likely threat, right, and is a actual typhoon or heavy wind event.
Right. Thanks for that, Charles. Now I'm thinking, in the event of a Chinese missile strike and we all run for our lives, I got to go back and get my mask and my hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
Well, get Daddy's Clorox wipes. Johnny, grab the Lysol. But do it from 6 feet apart, guys. Charles.
Thanks, Charles.
But it's, if you look at the what happened when COVID first happened, you had people rushing to get water, toilet paper, and right. So.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Charles. Hey, we'll get you back on about the quarantine. Maybe in a few days or next week we catch up on that.
Yeah, no worries, and I apologize for the lateness. We have a new project over at GMH with the Army Corps of Engineers, so next time I'm on, we can talk about that project as well.
All right.
Actually,
what? This is a new project?
You have Lillian coming on, so I'm pretty sure she can talk about the work that we're doing with the Army Corps of Engineers to fix or actually start to upgrade and expand the electrical over at GMH.
Got it.
Got it. Okay. Thanks, Charles.
Right. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Be safe.
There you go. Be safe. 824. Let's keep it going in the KUAM News Zoom room, where we have Education Superintendent John